Replacing the stereo in a 99 to 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Okay, don't forget to take your tape out if you actually have one in there to start with. Second, doesn't matter if you use a tiny little screwdriver or a really big panel prier. Just start at the sides, pry it around. Easier with this thing. There it goes. Okay, I got this piece off. It's gonna be 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, holding the actual radio in. Okay, now that you got those screws out, you go ahead and just pull this thing out. It's really easily, and start disconnecting these wires in the back. Alright, now that radio's out of there, let's go ahead and run some RCA wires through the center console first. Okay, to remove the center console, come up here, take this out. You got 2 screws right there. You got 2 screws underneath your cup holder down here. Come inside here. You got 2 screws that are holding this tray in. Now, open up your cup holder in the back here, because as you can see, as you open up the cup holder, there's going to be 2 screws down in there, and then 1 screw towards the center, right here in the center. That's how you get that part out. And once you got all these screws out, you kind of just pick it up and pull it backwards. Alright, once you got all these screws out,
Shift it into first and 4 low.
you kind of just pick it up and pull it out. Okay, where to run your RCA wires. So this gray wire here, I'm just using it as a fishing wire, kind of. I stuck it down in through there, and it came down out right here perfectly. So now I'm going to attach this with some tape over to my RCA and feed that back up to the dash. Got my kicker 4 channels. Okay, all I did was tape one side of this RCA to this piece of wire here. I'm going to try and feed it up through the dash. Alright, here we go. We got these 2. Man. That's an easy way to run your RCAs. Just use like kind of a fishing wire, stick it down in there, and pull it back out through. Okay, now that I got the RCAs going to my interior speakers, I just got to run the RCAs and a remote wire for the sub and the amps. Just running the wire down this side of the radio so I get the RCAs for the sub amp going on. There we go. Use a little bit of tape, tape these together. Does not have to look pretty, it's just temporary. There we go. Tape off of here. Okay, now that you got your RCAs that you want gone through there. Okay, now some RCAs will come with a remote wire attached to them. These do not have a remote wire attached to them for whatever reason. So I'm going to have to use an extra wire. I'm going to use this wire I've been using. I'm just going to feed it back down through there and over to the amps. Okay, now that you got your RCAs and everything you want ran through your dash, grab our wiring kit and start wiring up the deck. Okay, to wire up your new deck, all you're going to do is take your factory wiring harness and your deck's wiring harness and simply match the colors. Okay, because I'm using RCAs to run to my 4-channel amp, I will not be needing to use half of this wiring kit. This was all for the speakers, and these wires here for the factory deck are for the speakers. This is all the speakers for the Alpine deck. All I needed was the 12 volt, the ignition, and the illumination, and this blue one here with the white is my remote wire. This is the ground. The ground is going to run right here off the factory ground. Just plug that in there. Just plug this wiring harness in here. And I could plug in my Alpine stereo. This is the wire I'm going to be using for my remote to the amps. Just going to mix them both together, make it one big thick wire. Take my remote wire from the new deck, wrap that up in there. Put a connector on it and remote wire. Now my remote wire is now ran. Okay, your new radio is going to come with one of these on it. Some of the dash kits are going to require you to use this. My dash kit does not, so I'm going to head and set that aside. My dash kit is just these 3 pieces. I already clipped this side in. Just wanted to kind of show you that they just clip in there. It says top, left, and right on this, so you can't really get it wrong. Kind of line it up in there and push it. There we go. Take your radio and go ahead and slide your radio on in there. Bring it on up. And you're going to see on the side here, there's going to be a bunch of holes. Make the holes line up and use the 4 screws that came with and screw it down. And then we're just going to screw it into the dash the way it came out. Okay, now that your screws are in there, let's go ahead and start wiring it up. Get those RCAs down in there nice and good. Don't forget your antenna wire. Don't want to forget that. Alright. Now, just tuck all this stuff back in here neatly. Okay, now that you have everything plugged in, it's time to start gently getting it put in here. Alright, make sure those are good and tight. Okay, now that you've got all those screws in there, let's go ahead and just put this back on. Go ahead and pop this on. This final little clip piece here.
If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and check out the other videos on my channel.